my poem, War of Terror, dedicated to Dr. Martin Luther King and other slave leaders of the world. From Jesus to Gandhi, President Kennedy to Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X to Robert Kennedy, John Lennon to Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi or Yitzhak Rabin, whoever dared to ask others to embrace for peace, were assassinated using well-guarded state accomplices by few powerful minds, born imperialists, hiding behind national interests and secrecies, framing mental patients or bystanders without motives. Unnoticed, unpunished, they grow hungry for power, build private military to fight global drug war, ensuring supremacy is scripted in prophecy, act as bloody messiah, inventing war on terror. Plan, execute and glorify shock and awe, rapid killings and destruction without law, blaming fundamentalists, poverty and poor for all enacted military high-tech horror. Poverty only teaches people to rise above terror. They face every day in silence, hiding tears. Pain of sufferings, feeling of hunger, only encourages one to be free forever. Terror is the game of military power, killing civilians and patriots beyond border, calling it campaign for holy wars. But to victims, they are always war of terror. Posed by Kalki. If humans ever need a war, that must be war against lies that have plagued our once pristine world since the Trojan War. Fellow Americans must stand tall for 9/11 public investigation and truth immediately to expose real virtual Al-Qaeda and the perpetrators before the evidences disappear. For the sake of humanity, world peace and security. Now the question is why we have in 21st century deceiving wars. British businessman Cecil Rhodes and colonialists advocated the British Empire re-annexing the United States of America and reforming itself into an imperial federation to bring about a hyperpower. And how? To fund a secret society known as the Society of the Elect that would advance this goal. Quote, to and for the establishment, promotion and development of a secret society, the true aim and object whereof shall be for the extension of the British rule throughout the world, the perfecting of a system of emigration from the United Kingdom, and of colonization by the British subjects of all lands who had the means of livelihood are attainable by energy, labor and enterprise, and especially the occupation by the British settlers of the entire continent of Africa, the Holy Land, the valley of the Euphrates, the islands of Cyprus and Candia, the whole of South America, the islands of the Pacific not heretofore possessed by Great Britain, the whole of the Malay archipelago, the seaboard of China and Japan, the ultimate recovery of the United States of America as an integral part of the British Empire, the inauguration of a system of colonial representation in the Imperial Parliament, which may tend to weld together the disjointed members of the empire, and finally, the foundation of so great a power as to render wars impossible and promote the best interests of the humanity. Unquote. Rhodes Scholarship was introduced in 1902 to achieve that goal. And the next question is, why in the West, Europe and America, we still have anti-Semites? We have Ku Klux Klan. We have supremacists in a civilized world. Because modern Zionist godfather invented anti-Semites to perpetuate deceiving wars against Semite natives. Theodor Herzl, founder of Zionism in 1897 from Switzerland, quote, "It is essential that the sufferings of Jews become worse. This will assist in realization of our plans. I have an excellent idea. I shall induce anti-Semites to liquidate Jewish wealth. The anti-Semites will assist us thereby in that they will strengthen the persecution and oppression of Jews. The anti-Semites shall be our best friends." Unquote. Now the question is, who were the Jews? Everybody else but the Gentiles. That was coined by Paul in 1st century. Now to end this poem, we will quote from the American Hitler, Richard Parley, who is a resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, AEI. He served as Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Policy from 1981 to 1987, and afterwards as a member of the Defense Policy Board, including 3 years as chairman. He is also the director of the Jerusalem Post. Quote, "If we let our vision of the world go forth and we embrace it entirely and we don't try to piece together clever diplomacy but just wage total war, our children will sing great songs about us years from now." Unquote. The question American and world citizens must ask, who are we in the West? God bless our world. God bless world peace and justice. God bless universal realization.